Okay, so last time we went ahead and created this pipe right here, right, to start our little Mario adventure. All right, so the next thing I want to create is I want to create these little roly-poly little lever things that kind of scoot you along your way. These are relatively easy to make, and I want to show you guys some of the techniques I would use in creating some of these shapes. All right, so we're just gonna zoom into here, right here. I know it's very blurry, and you know that's okay. Sometimes you'll have to work with blurry images and blurry things like that, and you have to do your best to make the best out of the situation. All right, so I will start with, actually, I'll start with a plane. All right, I'll start with a plane. Let's start with a cylinder. All right, we're gonna start with a cylinder. We're gonna build our cylinder right here. We're gonna start it right here. Pull it out a little bit, and that's fine. All right, the reason I want to start with a cylinder is because it already gives me that rounded shape, and I don't have to worry about making that rounded shape anymore, because I was gonna have to do it with if I had gone the route of the plane, but you know, I will rather do this. It's got 18 sides, so if I split it this way, fine, it'll give me exactly what I need. All right, so I'm gonna right click on this guy. I'm just gonna convert this guy to an editable poly. Select this face right here, hit Control and I. What that does is it selects the inverse, which is everything other than what you have selected. I'm gonna hit P on my keyboard to go back in perspective. I'm just gonna delete that guy. I'm gonna delete the rest of that, leaving just my front facing plane over here, my front face, my faces right here. So now what I wanna do is, all right, I'm just gonna select one on the keyboard, grab these guys, right, and then we can just boop, pull these guys right out, right? So now we've got basically the base shape of it. All right, we got the base shape already going. All right, so the next step is to get in. We've got this little ridge right here. We've got this guy right here, and then we've got this little circles that are going into here, and then we've got these two inner ones. So, and as you can see, based on this guy, right, this shape right here, I know you guys can't see very well, but the shape, it's got an indent in it right here. It's extruded in. It's also on the inside. So whatever I do to this side right here has to be on the inside because of how it's built. And once we build one, right, obviously we can make it longer and do whatever we need to. So we just make one and then duplicate it, right? And in no time we will have this entire scene fleshed out. So here we go. Let's continue with our edit poly. I'm gonna just hit Alt and X just so I get an X-ray view, right? I can see through it now. All right, so I'm just gonna select this face. I'm gonna right click. I'm gonna say inset. All right, now that I've inset it, I'm gonna hit check on that. I'm gonna control and I'm gonna select these verts. So if I hit control, I can select those. Now if I hit R, I can now scale them in. So now I've got them scaled in. I'm gonna maybe squeeze them a little bit just so it matches the profile of what I've got going on here. If I hit F4, you guys can see what my my topology looks like. All right, so that is it. So now I can just select this guy, hit inset again. I don't want it to be as much, so I'm just gonna do just a little bit like that, and then I can just hit one and then just pull it in like so. Hit P and Z so I'm in my perspective view. I'm just gonna scale it in just a little bit so we get a nice bevel, right? You know, it's not flat. We've got this nice kind of 45-degree angle that if we wanted to make normals from this, man, we would get some really cool looking normals. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna select this top region here. I'm gonna hold down shift shift drag it like so, right? And I can tell that this edge has kind of like a nice chamfer to it, so I'm just going to add that to it as well. I'm just going to right click on this guy, I'm going to hit chamfer, and I'm going to reduce that quite a bit. I don't want it to be a lot, but it's got a nice little chamfer on there, and that is more than enough. More than enough right there. All right. So now that we've got our chamfer in, I can hit Alt X so I can see the damage that we've done. I'm gonna select this guy and then select this guy. All right. So we're gonna have an issue here if we try to subdivide this, because we've got these edges that they aren't terminated, right? They're not going anywhere. So we're gonna get some issues when it comes to our turbo smooth. And I can just show you that by doing this. See, you see how this entire thing turns into a hot steaming pile of garbage based on just, you know, a simple turbo smooth. We don't want that. What we want to do is we want to delete this guy. All right, and then I'm going to select my border, select these guys, select this inside border, Control select my edge, hold down Alt, remove those, all right, and then I can hit bridge. So it's going to bridge those for me. It's going to bridge all of that. And now I'm going to go in, I'm going to select this, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to chamfer this guy a little bit, because I want a like a very nice highlight, right? And what some people do is, what I've seen in the industry, whenever you're doing anything, depending on what you're doing it for, if you're doing it for games, you'll chamfer it a certain way. But if you're making it for film or you're making it for print, they do this technique which is called a double chamfer. And what that does is provides a very, very cool looking highlight that you get. I'll show you that right now. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to hit chamfer, and I'm going to reduce this quite a bit. Just do one or like that. 0.06 is fine. All right, that's one chamfer. I'm going to chamfer it again. Right click. I'm going to chamfer this again. All right, so now I've got my double chamfer, and I'll show you guys what it does. So I'm going to hit Alt Y. That's my Swift loop. You guys know where to find your Swift loop. I'm going to add an edge to this bottom right here, and now when I put that turbo smooth on, you'll see the results I'll get. Something much cleaner, much smoother. And if you look at this chamfer, you're getting a nice highlight, right? You're getting nice highlight, nice transitions on our shapes. All right. So, and another thing we should probably do is we're going to add like a locking loop right here, because we're getting some interesting edge stuff going on. So I'm just going to connect this. I'm going to do 2 and then just bring these guys like that. And then if you hit turbo smooth, you'll see what it does. All right. And this edge is too soft. I'm going to add that same double chamfer technique to that top part. So I'm going to do this and select this. I'm going to right click. I'm going to do that double chamfer technique again. Okay, so now we should have something that looks like that. Look at that, right? The idea is you're getting this nice transition on your edges. You're getting these nice transitions. All right. So now I'm just going to go back into my materials, hold shift, select this guy, duplicate it right here, double click, go and use my color picker to pick this yellow. It's like a dirty part of the yellow. Let's find a better part, something more. There we go. Better yellow. And then I might just bring it up a little bit. Hit OK. And then boom. So now we've got that that outside one. All right. So now to complete this piece, what we need to do is just symmetry it on the other side. So I'm just going to select this border that we have here. I'm just going to bring it in a little bit more. And then I'm going to add a symmetry modifier to it. I'm going to flip it on the Z-axis. Hit 1 on my keyboard. And I'm just going to drag this guy all the way till I see it snap into place. All right, so I'm going to hit F4 so you guys can see the operation that's going on right here. So what's happening is whenever I drag this guy using my symmetry, it's going to snap it to the other one. And if I select weld, it's going to weld all of these verts. And I can, some people, you might not want it to weld for certain reasons, but for this, we want it to weld, so this is fine. All right, so now ours is welded. We've got 2 sides, and now it's an in and out kind of thing. So now it's got that inside and the outside bevel, and we are good to go. All right, so now that we've got our little rolly in place, so let's build the rollers that actually moves our. Okay, it's like a conveyor belt. That's what I'll call it, the conveyor belt. All right, so let's create another cylinder. We're gonna make this guy. Let's see. Let's hide this guy. Let's hide this guy. And we're gonna create another cylinder to represent this guy. So we're just gonna create a cylinder like so, and then boom, like that. All right. And what I want to do with this guy is I'm just gonna hit Alt X, F4, just so I can see what's going on. Let's see, convert. I'm gonna convert this guy to an editable poly. I'm gonna select this inside face, PZ, to zoom into it. Right, if I hit Alt and Control and then middle mouse, I can zoom in and out so I can get a better look of what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna right click it. I'm gonna inset a little bit. Just pull this guy out a little bit like so. All right, hit Extrude. Not that way. I'm just gonna extrude this way because it looks like it's got this kind of cool little, either if it's a cool bubble or it might just be a hole. All right, so what I can do is I'm gonna make it like a little bubble that has something on the end of it. All right, so we're just gonna do a bevel. Reduce this guy, bring this guy all the way down like so. And then I'm gonna select these edges. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to chamfer them. So let's do 1, 2, right? And that's going to give us kind of a border. Well, let's move this guy down a little more and then chamfer this. So we've got more edges. Okay, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a swift loop, right? Bring this guy up a little bit just to round out that that edge. Select this guy, inset, do a plus, and then I'm going to do control. I'm going to just right click it, and then I'm going to let's collapse those. So if it collapses, it's going to collapse all of those faces into a point. Alright, so now I can just go about selecting these extra ones, spacing them out a little bit. Alright. Right, just like that. I'm just rounding out this shape. I'm still going to throw turbo smooth on it, so I'm just, you know, kind of approximating, I think is the word I should use. I'm approximating that that roundness. All right, so boom, boom, right click. I'm gonna chamfer that bad boy. All right. Just like that. So now if I unhide all, right, I'm gonna do is bring this guy like so. So this guy's protruding out of this guy like so. I hit Alt and X. I'm gonna go into my material editor and I'm just gonna do the same thing I've been doing to, you know, we're just modeling with these materials. Just gonna add it to there, and then in the material itself I can, right, use the color picker, color pick our metal people mover, or whatever it's called. Looks like a treadmill. So I'm just gonna delete this guy in here, select this border, and then just like that. Actually, I'm gonna do about half, and I'm just gonna throw a symmetry modifier on it. Let's see, Z, hit 1, bring it in, like so, just like that. Okay, so now I can just duplicate, boop, just like that. I'll make it an instance. Okay, that's fine. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to duplicate it again. I'm going to use these as the smaller rollers. So I'm going to make this a copy instead, right? And then okay. I'm just going to then scale it down. Easy peasy, right? Like this is pretty easy. So I'm gonna actually cut this symmetry tool, select this guy right here. I'm just gonna select this, Control I, and I'm gonna delete all that extra stuff that we had on that side. I'm just gonna select this this border to the right, and then just pull this guy all the way out. Right, so I haven't even created any. I'm using the existing geometry that we have, right? And these guys, right, they fit into this little snug hole right here, this little cavity that we have. So that's exactly what we're gonna. We're just gonna scale these guys down so they fit inside of our little little cubby hole. And you see it's got a decent amount of space in between there, so mine probably needs to go just a smidge, right? That's an accurate number. That's like a number. So smidge, just scale it down a smidge. So you've got some decent spacing in here. All right, and then I can just select this this border again, and then just pull this guy out. Right, and then I can just, you know, easily in here, it's actually going to duplicate these in here. So I'm just going to boop, hold down shift, and then just like that, we'll make it into an element. And now we have made our little treadmill. So I'm going to turn this into make this an instance of it, so anytime I do a change, it'll be affected by that. All right, so here is how we would make our people movers. So let me just pull these guys in like so. All right, we are rocking and rolling with these guys, right? So just gonna make sure that I've got some space in here. All right. So that's the people mover. All right, and you know, you can definitely throw a turbo smooth modifier on this bad boy. Right. So now if you throw turbo smooth, right, now we're cooking with some grease. Look at that bad boy. Clean, good, and ready to go. All right.